Women are not funny. This was clearly explained by Christopher Hitchens almost 2 decades ago. While there can be exceptions, and they are few and far between, the broad stroke of the matter is that women are not funny because they don't need to be. It's imperative for men to have a sense of humour so that we can entertain women in the hopes of sleeping with them. Women just need to not be fat to be desirable, and even then, they can fail to do so in an act of self-sabotage that is genuinely hilarious. Now, why is this relevant? Well, a show made by funny men, whose physical appearance demanded they be clever, has been appropriated by unfunny women, who I'm willing to bet big money have jobs for the sake of quotas, and shat out onto Amazon Prime in a forgettable 8-episode season. It is, of course, The Office Australia, and it's so unfunny that I mean this with all sincerity. Julie DeFina and Jackie Van Beek, quit your job and move into a field suitable for your meagre talents, like HR. Now, with that very clearly stated, let's dive into The Office Australia. Here's a quote from Ricky Gervais on when the show was announced. "I'm very excited about Australia remaking my little show from the turn of the century. Office politics have changed a bit in 20 years, so can't wait to see how they navigate a modern-day David Brent." That is a beautiful PR-approved statement from a man eager to cash another check. Now, the solution these titans of comedy, Julie DeFina and Jackie Van Beek, have come up with regarding a modern-day David Brent is to avoid any inkling of David Brent in the first place. An entire episode dedicated to The Office being registered as a religion fails to make a single insulting remark about any religion. They couldn't even take a swipe at something safe like Scientology. An entire episode dedicated to the Melbourne Cup, a time of debauchery in Australia that is like something out of a Hunter S. Thompson fever dream, results in a gag about the boss leaving her shoes in the toilet. An entire episode dedicated, of all things, to the death of a co-worker and the office holding a wake in his honour amounts to a gag where the co-worker's licence is used as the picture for an in memoriam video. I think you get the point. Wherever the UK and US would have leaned into the danger zone and made a joke that could fail, the Australian team, run by risk-averse women, which is part of the reason why women aren't funny, shy away and opt for milquetoast ramblings. Consider Season 1, Episode 2 of The Office US, aptly titled Diversity Day, which was written by a man, if you can believe it, BJ Novak. It was dangerous comedy even in 2005 to make race-based jokes, which is why it was so delightful to watch. He walked right up to the edge and danced on it with great repartee. We've got an office full of different sexualities, races, and genders, and the Australian David Brent refuses to put her foot in her mouth in a way that would make us gasp. Why not? Julie DeFina and Jackie Van Beek are chicken shit morons. That's the answer. As a brief aside, why even create a version of The Office if you're going to be a coward? The show is well known for its balance of acid, cringe, and heart. None of that is easy to pull off, but if you're going to adapt it, then at least try. These women don't even swing the bat. Felicity Ward, who plays the Australian David Brent, Hannah, does her level best to be funny by putting on innumerable funny faces and contorting her body into various funny poses, but she is a rudderless ship because of the bad script. Scenes run on for far too long without delivering punchlines, and when a joke is made, it is lame because of the aforementioned cowardice amongst the writers. Now, the direction and editing are an exact rip-off from the previous iterations, so there's nothing to comment on there. Furthermore, the characters are a rip-off from the previous iterations, so there's nothing to comment on there. The only thing I would add is that the actors are all quite unattractive, and the Australian Jim and Pam, too irrelevant for me to even note their names, are unlikable. It was an eyesore to watch these people, and I'll bet my house right now none of them go on to bigger things. But it's okay. They have a cottage industry sustained by government subsidies to keep them plying their craft at something no one, not even Australians, care about. Aren't you proud of your work, mate? I should probably say here that some of my bile exists because the Australian industry in general is trash. I despise it so much I moved to North America because the only path to success is on the other side of the world. I'd rather be poor and have a shot at greatness than be middle class and mediocre. That's how bad it is in Australia for anyone with vision. Anyway, The Office Australia is garbage, and the only way it gets a second season is if Amazon try to prove a point the way they did with the Rings of Power. Renew the sucker and hope a marketing blitz will convince people to jump on board an imaginary bandwagon. I doubt they'll bother though, and hope this trash enjoys obscurity. Finally, Julie DeFina and Jackie Van Beek, please admit you're not talented and focus on daytime soap operas or running a daycare, as that's more in keeping with your talents. Thanks for watching.